Hello everyone, my name is Anita, the kitchen organizer, and let me tell you this for free. If you've not had coconut rice like this, you've not tasted anything. Stick with me and I'll show you how to make this deliciousness. So first, we start with oil of your choice. I love canola oil and that's what I use at home. Heat it up a bit and then you add your onions. I'm using a bulb of onions for this recipe, and if you know me, you know that I love onions, so it's a large bulb of onions. I just leave it to fry for a bit until it's translucent to give some flavor to my oil, and then I add my garlic paste. Now this is roast garlic paste. You can use crushed garlic or whatever you have available. If you have garlic powder, that's fine, but fresh usually gives, a better flavor to your food. Now once this is fried for a good amount of time, you add a spoon of pepper mix. Now this pepper mix has Tatashe, Shombo, tomatoes, onions, just like the base for your stew really. I'm not adding too much. I'm not trying to make jollof rice, so just a cooking spoon of it is about fine. And I fry it. You can see me frying and stirring because I don't want my pot to start burning now. Once it's fried a bit, I added blended yellow pepper. I would recommend blended yellow pepper for this recipe, but if you have red scotch bonnets, that's okay. But I find that blended yellow pepper gave me an even deeper, taste and flavor. Once that is fried for a good amount of time, I start adding my fish. I use some stock fish, some Panla fish, which is also smoked Hake fish, and also some smoked catfish. Use whatever dry fish you like, but these are my favorites and it gives so much flavor to this recipe. I also added some blended crayfish and then some, raw crayfish, not blended, just because I like the texture of it in my, coconut rice. Now I'm on low heat. I'm stirring everything together and just leaving it to cook. I'm also seasoning it. Now remember that the dry fish has a lot of flavor, the different types of fish that you've used, so you don't want to over season because you want to let the flavors come out. So I used a few seasoning cubes and some salt and just, stirred everything in, made it all marry together. And then I added my next ingredient, which is my coconut milk. Now I used about a tin of coconut milk. If you're one of those people that like to extract coconut milk themselves, this will come to about 1.5 cup of coconut milk. I didn't have the time to do that this time, and I'm very okay with the tin, versions of coconut milk, and that's exactly what I used for this recipe. So on low heat still, just so that my milk doesn't totally evaporate or dry, I stirred everything, let it simmer for a bit. I also added some water as well. I added about a cup of water, or at least enough water to start my rice cooking process. Now once everything was in the pot, I covered it and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, or maybe less. On low heat, like I said, this recipe is best when cooked on low heat. You really don't want to rush the cooking process because you want to enhance every single flavor in this dish. Now once it simmered for about 10 to 15 minutes, or maybe 10 to 12 minutes, I added my properly washed rice. My rice is not parboiled, it's just properly washed with cold water and then hot water to make sure all the starch is removed. I added my rice, to my sauce, stirred it in properly, and then I left it to cook till done. I don't like to disturb my rice when it's cooking, so I just stirred it in properly, covered it with a tin foil, and left it to cook till my rice was properly done. Of course, I've explained why you need to cover with a tin foil. That is to trap in all the heat and to make sure the heat doesn't escape, so your rice cooks without swelling. Now once my rice was done, it looked something like this. You see why I didn't add too much tomatoes in the beginning? I didn't want the jollof look. I'm not making jollof rice. I just needed it to be, pale yellow and delicious. Now I added some scent leaves, which are ephedrine leaves as well. Added some scent leaves and I stirred it properly into my rice. And once I was done with that, because you know that I like the vibrance in my food, I also added some bell peppers, just chopped bell peppers for a bit of color. Once I did that, my rice was ready to go. It is, and it was absolutely delicious. Everyone that tasted it kept raving about it. The only thing I'm going to advise you to do is when you're using your dry fish, make sure to debone, because since you used a lot of fish in this recipe, you're going to have a lot of bones here and there. That's how you make this absolutely delicious coconut rice. Guys, try this recipe and I promise you, you will not be making coconut rice any other way. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please subscribe. Also click the notification button so you get notified whenever I release a new video. Thank you for watching my video, and bye till next time.